You know, there is a very human tendency to look for the biggest, loudest solution when we're in trouble. If you're in debt, you look for a lottery win. If you're threatened, you look for the guy with the biggest muscles to stand behind. It's instinctual.
Absolutely. It's about tangible security. We want something we can see, touch, and count.
And that is exactly where we land in this section of Isaiah, specifically chapter 31. The people are terrified of Assyria, so what do? They don't pray. They go shopping for security. They look at Egypt and say, hey, they have a lot of horses. They have fast chariots. Let's buy into that.
Right, and Isaiah calls this out immediately. He points out a fundamental category error. He says, the Egyptians are men, not God. Their horses are flesh, not spirit. It's a stark reminder that you can't solve a spiritual crisis with material inventory.
It's interesting you call it a category error, because the text uses this vivid imagery of God being like a lion growling over its prey. A lion isn't scared just because a bunch of shepherds show up making noise.
Exactly. The metaphor is powerful. God is saying, you're running to Egypt because you're scared of the noise of Assyria, but I'm the lion. If you trust the lion, the noise doesn't matter. But then, almost immediately, the tone shifts in chapter 32. We move from the failure of Egypt to a vision of what true leadership looks like.
The king reigning in righteousness. This is some of the most beautiful poetry in the text. It describes a leader not as a conqueror, but as a hiding place from the wind and streams of water in a dry place.
It's a radical redefinition of power. Usually, a king is a figure of dominance. Here, the king is a figure of shelter. It suggests that true security isn't about having the strongest offense. It's about having a refuge that the storm can't touch. But we have to talk about the warning that comes right after this.
I had a feeling you'd go there. The women who are at ease.
Yes. Rise up, you women who are at ease. It sounds harsh, telling them to strip and put on sackcloth. But what Isaiah is attacking here isn't women specifically, but the societal attitude of complacency.
It feels like he's addressing a society that thinks, the harvest will always come, the wine will always flow, we're fine.
Precisely. It's the illusion of stability. They are partying in a house that's already on fire. Isaiah is trying to shock them into reality, telling them that the fields will turn to thorns and the palaces will be abandoned to wild donkeys. He's saying that until the Spirit is poured out from on high, all your security is just a mirage.
That phrase, until the Spirit is poured on us, that seems to be the pivot point. Because once that happens, the wilderness becomes a fruitful field. It's a complete reversal of the curse.
It is. And that leads us into the intensity of chapter 33 and 34. This is where the contrast becomes incredibly sharp. On one side, you have Zion, described as a quiet habitation, a tent that won't be moved. And on the other side, well, you have Edom.
Chapter 34 is terrifying. It's like a cosmic unraveling, the sky rolling up like a scroll, the mountains melting. It sounds like a horror movie.
It's decreation. That's the best way to describe it. When humanity persistently chooses violence and rejects the king of righteousness, the result isn't just political defeat, it's the collapse of order. The description of Edom is visceral, streams turning to pitch, dust to sulfur. It becomes a void.
And the list of animals! Pelicans, porcupines, owls, jackals. It's like nature reclaiming the ruins of human arrogance.
There's a fascinating detail there, though. So did you notice the Book of the Lord reference? It says, search in the Book of the Lord, not one of these will be missing. Even in this chaotic judgment, God is in control. He has assigned these wild creatures to possess the ruins. It's a haunting kind of sovereignty.
It really frames the choice the listeners had to make. You can either live in the quiet habitation, where the Lord is your judge and king, or you can end up in the ruins with the jackals.
That's the crux of it. Chapter 33 asks, who among us can live with the devouring fire? And the answer is the one who walks righteously. It's not about being strong enough to fight the fire, it's about having a character that can withstand the heat.
It brings us back to where we started. You can trust the horses of Egypt, which are flesh and will stumble, or you can trust the king who is a shelter from the wind.
And that king promises that the work of righteousness will be peace, not the peace of a ceasefire, but quietness and confidence forever. That's a promise worth waiting for.
A heavy but hopeful place to stop. It forces us to ask, where are we looking for our shelter today? Thanks for breaking this down with me.
Always a pleasure. If you have been blessed by this, please like, subscribe, and share this joy with others. God bless.